Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's Sports Expert 101 here. You can call me Sports Expert. Today, we are premiering another case to win the Super Bowl in 2021 video. And today, we are doing the Chicago Bears. As you can see right there, we got the logo. And let's get started, guys. I hope you guys really enjoy this video. I hope you guys enjoying the series so far. I know it's been a week since I've posted a video like this, but we're going to keep posting a few today. I'm probably going to post a couple today. So I really appreciate you guys being here and tuning in. So right now, before we get started, I would love to say please subscribe and turn on post notifications. I'd really appreciate that. Please like up the video. Please comment. I'd really appreciate that. You don't have to, but I guess I definitely appreciate that. But I mean, and then I'll put my Discord and my Cash App link in the description if you want to donate. You don't have to. It's definitely not a requirement. And if you want to join the Discord, that's definitely not a requirement either. You can. So let's get started though with the Chicago Bears. So here's my case for them to win the Super Bowl. Okay, they have this coaching staff. It's with Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy, people criticized him last year. I criticized him. Lots of other Bears fans criticized him. I'm still criticizing him actually. But here's how they're gonna win the Super Bowl with a coach like Matt Nagy. He has a great offensive mind. Mitch Trubisky may have struggled last year, but Mitch Trubisky actually had some nice sparks last year, in my opinion. But the thing about Matt Nagy is that he's a newbie. He's a newbie. It's only his third year going to being a head coach at any level, I believe. Yeah, so. But I think Matt Nagy definitely will have a nice impact for this offense. I think if you get an offensive established coach, I know they say defense wins championships, but I think if you can have a nice offensive established coach like Matt Nagy, then you're all in to win a title. So that's the reason why I believe they can win a title with Matt Nagy. And here we go with the coaching staff. Offensive coordinator Bill Lazor. Here's the thing about Bill Lazor. Has not been the greatest coordinator at the locations he's been. He's been in Cincinnati. He's been in Miami, I believe. He's been all right, but he has experience. Experience is going to win you championships. Same with their defensive coordinator Chuck Pagano, who was the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts, led them to the AFC title game. They lost because the Patriots cheated, though. But that's experience right there. That is experience from their offensive and defensive coordinator with Bill Lazor and Chuck Pagano, especially Chuck Pagano being a former head coach. So definitely. And I'm not going to go through the whole coaching staff. I'm just going to go through one more. I'll go with Chris Tabor, the special teams coordinator. I don't really know much about him at all. But what I see from him, it looks like a much experienced guy. So experience wins you championships and offensive mind. I mean, you love that defensive mind, but you have a former head coach at the helm for defensive coordinator. That definitely helps. I believe that is an established coaching staff. Unlike the Jaguars, they have some experience with Ben McAdoo and Jay Gruden. But the Panthers, the problem with the Panthers, they do not have the experience. They have experience with Joe Brady winning a title in college, but they don't have the experience in the NFL. So that's going to hurt the Panthers. But I think like I said, the experience of winning titles in college and potentially helping translate that to the NFL was the key for the Patriots. But here's the key for the Panthers. I mean, my bad, guys. As I believe the key for the Chicago Bears is experience right here. And I know, like I said, offensive mind. You need defensive mind more, but you got a head coach, a defensive coordinator, former head coach. So I believe that's what you're getting from the coaching staff. So at least the top of the coaching staff. I'm not really going to go through like quarterback to coach, offensive assistants. That would be a waste of time. As we're going to go right through the roster. So here's why I think this team could win it. Why this offense is established to win a title this season. Here's why. At QB, you have Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles. You have a really nice QB room. You have experience on both ends. You have Mitch Trubisky, who isn't 1,000% proven, but he has experience in playing football for 3 straight seasons now. You got Nick Foles. He definitely has experience. Super Bowl winning QB, former Super Bowl MVP. That's experience for sure. Then you have the third stringer, Tyler Ray. Nothing really going on there. He doesn't really have much experience. He played for the Chiefs, but he didn't really do much at all. Not really experienced there, but if you have a nice 1 and 2 with experience, that's nice. As Mitch Trubisky will be going into his 4th season, and Nick Foles will be going into his, I believe, 9th season. So, but yeah, guys, that's the QB room. It's experienced, and yeah, so very experienced. And You got a QB battle. A lot of teams don't have those QB battles. The Bears have one, which is actually great, because you have two QBs that have potential to be a nice established starter for your football team, and you already have the offensive-minded head coach. So there you go, like that. Then you have at running back. You have some nice depth here. I mean, you don't have a ton of experience at running back. But then you have Tariq Cohen. He can return the punts and kicks as well. He's a very, very valuable player at his position. He's one of the best. He's a very good tackle breaker. If you want juke moves, go to Tariq Cohen. Go to Tariq Cohen if you want to watch some juke moves. Watch some Tariq Cohen highlights. He's very electric. You need electric plays for your offense to win the title. So, like I said, Tariq Cohen's there. Then you have David Montgomery. Like I said, doesn't have much experience. Only a second season, which kind of hurts their chances with the running back committee. But, he definitely has high hopes. He definitely has a lot of potential. So, we'll see what we can get from him, though. Doesn't really have that better leadership. You don't have much there. You have Artavis Pierce, who he signed. Not much going on there. So, then at wide receiver, you do have a lot of experience here. Do you have the right depth, though? Maybe, yeah. But do you have the best receiving corps? No. They don't have the best receiving corps. They have Allen Robinson. He's a star receiver, Pro Bowl receiver, You're going to get a lot from him. He's going to be arguably one of the better receivers in football. So, yeah, he definitely could be a good leader for this team. Then you have Cordell Patterson. He's more of a returner. He's playing receiver right there. He's top 3 receiver for them. That's not going to help them. But it's experience. Experience. This team is fully of experience. This is one of the oldest teams in football, or maybe around there. So, but Cordell Patterson, you're not going to get a lot of experience from wide receiver from him. So, I'm not hit huge on that. Then you have Anthony Miller, definitely not experienced though, at the wide receiver position. I'm telling you, that's not great. But Anthony Miller definitely has a lot of potential in this league. So, then you have Javon Wims, not a lot of experience there. Then you sign Ted Ginn. You sign Ted Ginn in the offseason. The thing about Ted Ginn, he has a lot of experience. Former highly touted recruit out of Ohio State. One of a highly touted NFL prospect, never really lived up to that massive hype. But you got Ted Ginn there, a lot of experience. He's around 35 years old, I believe. So you're definitely going to get a lot of experience from there. Then you have Riley Ridley, no experience there. So then what else you got? You don't have much either. Darnell Mooney, you drafted him. Trevor Davis. I'm concerned about the wide receiver corps just because of experience. You have a lot of young guys. You have Allen Robinson, but I'm concerned about the depth, like the top 3 receivers you have right now. If that's a depth chart, that could be concerning. That's definitely not going to win you a title. But if you play Ted Ginn, that definitely could get you there. So, but Cordell Patterson as a 2 receiver, no, that's not going to help at all. So wide receiver corps I'm not too high on, but it's not terrible. It definitely isn't terrible. There's some experience there, but there's a lot of non-experience there. So wide receiver corps if they want to win the Super Bowl, they're going to have to play excellent. It's going to have to be almost perfect, that wide receiver corps. So then we're going to go to the tight end, Cole Kmet. If he's a starter, then that's a rookie starting. Not a lot of experience there unless he has a huge breakout season, which I don't believe he will. But I think it's possible with a offensive coach, Matt Nagy. I think you're going to have non-experienced players in this offense, but you have a offensive-minded head coach at the helm. You have Bill Lazor. You have 2 offensive-minded coaches right there. So that definitely could help the non-experienced players. So that's a case. That's one of my cases that they could be an offensive winning title, the title contenders. So but the thing about Matt Nagy and Bill Lazor, they are offensive-minded coaches. They have a lot in store, and that's what's going to help this young offense. So, but then we'll go to Demetrius Harris. He's a backup. Not much about there. Not the greatest blocker though. He played for the Browns. My Browns last year. Not the greatest blocker. Then you have Jimmy Graham. Like I said, they signed him. They overpaid him. He's old. He's a veteran. He's a leader, but he's not going to help. He's not very valuable anymore. He's not very valuable. So then you have Brendan. You don't have much else going on at tight end. You have Holtz. You have Brockinger. You have Horsted, who caught a touchdown last year on Thanksgiving against the Lions. Not much going on there though. So we'll go to the offensive line. You have former Pro Bowl left tackle Charles Leno Jr. Had his ups and downs last season. I know I like Charles Leno Jr. I do. I think that's I think he's one of the better tackles, or underrated tackles, I'd say, in the NFL. I think that's He's a great player. I think it's a nice piece for the Bears. So Kevin will take that. Then you have Jason Spriggs, former Packer. I thought he excelled when he came in. For the injuries for Green Bay. I believe it was Bulaga or something like that. He got injured. But when Spriggs came in, I thought he excelled. So I think that's definitely a nice veteran piece there for the Packers. I think the Bears. But yeah, I really think it's a great pickup. Then you have James Daniels, the left guard. A lot of people are high on him. A lot of people think he's one of the better guards in football, but we'll see. I think he has experience there too. Then you have Cody Whitehair at center, one of the better centers in football. Definitely got experience there. I think that's a very established position there, so we don't really need to talk about that much. Then at right guard you have Rashad Coward. Not a lot of experience there at all. That's pretty concerning. But then you sign Germain Ifedi. He has some experience, but he's not very good. So that's good. The right guard position is very concerning. Then you have the right tackle position. You have Bobby Massey as the starter. He's okay. He's not anything special. So offensive line is decent, but it's not anything extremely special. That's what I'd say. I don't know about you guys. I think you guys maybe would think different, but I don't know. They definitely don't have the depth on offensive line other than Spriggs and Ifedi, but he's just not very consistent at all. So I think the case for this team to win the Super Bowl is you have an offensive-minded coach. You have Bill Lazor, who definitely has experience all around the league. But you got to get players with more experience. I mean, you have players with experience, but I mean, they have to be consistent. I think they can be consistent. I think this coaching staff can make them consistent. So I believe this could be a Super Bowl contending offense. So this is why I believe that Bears have a Super Bowl contending offense as we speak. So we're gonna go with to defense now, everybody. So let's start with the D line. We're gonna start off with the defensive tackle position. Akeem Hicks. He's a nose tackle, one of the better nose tackles in football for the Chicago Bears. Can stuff the runners up and stuff. He can even rush the passer at a very consistent rate for a nose tackle. Definitely one of the more ferocious defensive tackles in the NFL the last couple seasons. You got a lot going on with him, so I really like that. Really like him. Then you have people tell me this is one of the more underrated players in football. Roy Robertson Harris. How about this? He's at the backup defensive tackle position right now. I believe he can play on the edge, if I'm correct. So, I mean, if you're going to have depth like that with one of the more underrated players in all of football, then that's huge. That is huge for the Chicago Bears defense, Like, I'm not even kidding. Then you have third string, you have Brett Urban. That's a lot more depth right there. I really like the defensive tackle position right now. I'm liking it right now. Then we'll go to the next defensive tackle position. For starting, you got Eddie Goldman. A lot of people love him. One of the more underappreciated players in football, you could argue. Definitely is another ferocious beast there. Not as good as Hicks, but I mean, he definitely has a level of talent on most defensive tackles in the NFL do not have. So you got him there. Then you have John Jenkins. Then you have a lot going on there after that. Not really. You have like undrafted free agents now. But I mean, I think the depth is nice. I really do for that defensive tackle spot. So if they want to make the Super Bowl, I think this is their case to win the Super Bowl. They're going to have a very consistent defense. They're going to have the depth. They have the depth. So, I mean, yeah, this defense definitely is very consistent with defensive tackle. So we're going to go to defensive end, edge rushers. So we're going to go with Bilal Nichols. Is he good? I don't know. But is he bad? No, he's not bad. He's decent. I think he's decent. I think he's definitely a consistent pass rusher at times. So, but the thing is, if you have a lot of depth at that position, you do not. But you can, though. So, you got Abdullah Anderson. You have Travis Gibson, who you got drafted out of Tulsa. So, not a lot of depth at that one position. But here where it gets interesting. You have one of the best pass rushers in football, very established, Khalil Mack. Okay. So here's the thing about Khalil Mack. They traded for him a couple years ago from the Raiders, gave up a couple first. Now he's one of the best pass rushers in football for sure. Still going to be starting over there. Definitely a great player, no question about that. Had a down year last year, but I think he's definitely going to have a comeback here this year with all that motivation coming from the playoffs missed last year. So then you have, but the problem is with the defensive end position, you have no depth. Where is the depth? Abdullah Anderson and James Waters, who are those players? I do not know who they are. You need that depth. They don't have that depth at the defensive end position. Not at all. They don't have that depth at all. You need depth. You need depth right there. Because here's the thing. You have Khalil Mack playing linebacker sometimes too. You don't have the depth. Because you know what they did? They also signed Robert Quinn to a 5-year, $70 million deal. I feel like they overpaid a little bit for him. You have him, Mack, and Nichols rushing the passer. You know, Nichols could be part of depth if you want to run with Quinn and Mack. But I believe you need at least two decent pieces for depth. So, I'm a huge depth guy. A lot of people don't have depth on their team. And that really, really concerns them. So, but the thing is, I think that defensive line is established, but the depth at defensive end is definitely a concern. Here's my case to win the Super Bowl for the defensive end and defensive tackle positions. I think you have ferocious beasts over there, like Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman. You have Bilal Nichols, not a ferocious beast, but he's a decent defensive end. So I think the depth is still a problem. But I mean, if that defensive line can stay healthy, I mean, if you can actually switch Brett Urban to defensive tackle to defensive end, I don't know if you can, but I think it's definitely possible. You'd have depth, but we have to see it. We have to see it to believe it. So, and at the linebacker position, you put Khalil Mack at linebacker. Obviously, you definitely can. Then they re-signed Randy Trevathan, which I really loved. I loved the move. I thought he was going to go to a different team and maybe be a ferocious beast there. Be one of the better pass covering linebackers, one of the better run stopping linebackers. Definitely going to improve in those positions. So, but they re-signed him to a nice deal. So I really like what the Bears did there, and that's definitely going to help their defense stay intact this season. Then you have Josh Woods. You don't have much going on there. Then you have 30-year player Roquan Smith. Not a ton of experience there, but he's very consistent. Do you need a lot of experience from someone like Roquan Smith with a head coach and defensive coordinator? No. You know why? He's definitely an established. You could argue he's established already. So Roquan Smith, I'm a huge fan of him. I think a lot of other Bears fans are. So maybe go Savuta Tribe. So, but the thing is, yeah, don't have a lot of depth at the linebacker position. But I mean, like I said, you could put Khalil Mack at linebacker. You could put Barkevious Mingo at linebacker. He's there too. They have him at edge rusher. So I feel like the depth is still better at linebacker than defensive end. But I mean, the thing is, defensive end, you have to get that improved. But the linebacker, I believe that's definitely established more than people think. I think it's one of the more underrated linebacker combinations in NFL. So, yeah. But we're going to go to the secondary now, guys, as we are going to go with the corners. For the outside corners, you have Kyle Fuller. He's my 7th corner in all of football. I don't know where you guys would rank him. A lot of people don't have him in the top 10, which I believe is absurd. I believe he's a top 10 corner by a mile. A lot of people don't like him. Remember, he got his option declined, and he was actually really struggling with the Bears back a few years ago. But now look at him. He's a superstar corner. He's a superstar corner in my eyes. He's amazing. Definitely a great thing they kept him. You know, remember the offer sheet the Packers gave him a couple years back? The Bears are like, nope, we're offering him back. He had a great season for us. Now look at him. He's a superstar corner. He's very established. He's very consistent on a weekly basis. So definitely give it there. Then do you have depth? Yes, you do. You have Buster Skrine. Buster Skrine uses arguably a starting top tier. He's not a top tier corner. Definitely not a top tier corner. I don't know where I got that from, but I mean, Buster Skrine is definitely a starting tier corner. Former Browns player, former Jets player, yeah. I believe he played for the Bills too. So you have Duke Shelley. You could argue he's not the most experienced player, but he's definitely some decent depth. I feel like he's one of the a very consistent corner at the 3rd string position there. Then you have Steven Denmark. You're not getting a lot from him, but here's why you're not getting a lot from him. Because he is not experienced. I thought he was a great pickup from Valdosta State in 2019, so I thought he was one of the more underrated corner. I thought maybe he would get drafted like Kyle Duggar did, but he did not, which was a little interesting. But then you have Sherrick McManus. Depth. That's depth. That's another depth position. You have a lot of depth at corner. This team has a lot of depth at corner. Definitely going to have some mentors here. Definitely going to help the team win. Definitely going to help the defense, and the offense potentially be focused. The whole team can be focused due to this. So then we're going to go with the right corner. You have Artie Burns. He's really struggled in Pittsburgh, but maybe he needs a new change of scenery, guys. Maybe he needs a new change of scenery. Maybe he'll be way more consistent now in Chicago with a more established defensive coordinator in Chuck Fant. Chuck Pagano. So yeah, I almost said Chuck Fangio. That's terrible. But I mean, Artie Burns. We'll see what he can do. We'll see what he can do. Then you have Jalen Johnson, who you just drafted. I like him. I like him a lot. I mean, he definitely has to stay healthy, but if he can definitely turn into an established corner in the NFL and definitely be a nice depth piece and definitely could be a starter in the future for the Chicago Bears. So then you have Kevin Tolliver, Trey Robinson. Trey Robinson's all right. You can say Rick Crawford. A little bit of depth there. I like the depth of the corner position. Well, not, but yeah. So we'll go to safety. We'll go to safety now. So Deion Bush and Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson that was a first-team All-Pro in the 2018-2019 season. He made the Pro Bowl the last couple of years. Definitely a superstar safety. Did not make an All-Pro team this year, but he still had a great season. Deion Bush, one of the more underrated safeties in football. Nobody talks about him, but he definitely is a playmaker. Definitely is out there making tackles. Definitely making plays. And yeah, so then with the depth, you have DeAndre Houston Carson. So you're not getting a lot from him. Jordan Lucas, I like him. I like him a lot. But I mean, are you going to get a lot from him? I don't think so. That's just my opinion. I don't know what other people think. I don't think you're going to get a lot from him. Then you have Sean Gibson. I don't know how he's on the third string. He should be a second stringer or maybe even starting over Deion Bush. But if he's part of depth, that's a great depth piece. I think the secondary has a nice amount of depth. You have Kentrell Bryce, another depth safety. He's consistent and can be consistent as a depth piece on a weekly basis. Like that, I like that pickup for those pickups of the Chicago Bears. I really do. So here's why I think this defense can win the Super Bowl. Got a nice established defensive coordinator in Chuck Pagano, former Indianapolis head coach. Got him to the AFC Championship game with a great defense. I'm telling you. Then you have this defense which has a lot of depth to it. You know, the only places I feel like the depth needs to be fixed are the defensive end position and the arguably part of the linebacking positions. So, but I believe they have a great front seven. They have a great secondary. I believe they're going to be a top 10 defense this season. You know, that's definitely defense wins championships. You have the offensive-minded head coach. You have the former head coach who's your defensive coordinator now. I'm telling you, this Bears defense is ready to go. Yeah, like I said, you need an established coaching staff to win a title. This is what they have. Unlike my Browns. We're going to do the Browns soon, but I mean, I don't want to get into that too much because it's a Bears video and I kind of want to keep it a surprise for you, but yeah. But we're going to go to special teams. Then we'll end the video. So, Pat O'Donnell. Here's the thing about Pat O'Donnell. I think he's one of the better punters in football, but he's definitely been very inconsistent as of late. He's been very inconsistent. Can he be consistent once again? Yes, he can. With Chris Tabor at the position now, you've had him. I think he's definitely going to say, hey, Pat, you got to be more consistent. Here's what we got to do. We got to set you up. But with this COVID-19 pandemic, I don't know how you're going to communicate with him. So I'm a little bit concerned about Pat O'Donnell. I believe he can be one of the better punters in football, but I still have some concerns about him. Eddie Pinheiro, you definitely have concerns about the kicking position. He has ups and downs last year. Then you have Ramiz Ahmed, or whatever you pronounce that. Then you have Patrick Scales as a long snapper. I feel like he's nice, a consistent, established long snapper. So you're definitely going to have a consistent long snapper there. I believe you can play tight end too, Scales, so I'm correct. Then you have the punt returner, Tariq Cohen. You got even Eddie Jackson and Duke Shelley can return punts, which is great depth there. Then you have kick returner Cordell Patterson. Like I said, Cordell Patterson shouldn't be playing wide receiver right now, as for now. But I mean, you should be returning the kicks. Maybe you can use a little bit of jet sweep with him. Then you have Anthony Miller back at the kick returning position potentially. I like the special teams with the returning position, but the punter and kicking positions definitely need help. Here's my case to win the Super Bowl. There, like I said, I love experience. I think, but you don't have a ton of experience over the kicking position. You know, I think everywhere else you may have some experience, but I mean, you don't have the consistency. You don't have the consistency there. You do not have the consistency there on that first half of the special teams with the punter and kicker. You don't have the consistency. The returning position, it's perfect. I think it's Super Bowl contending returning positions. But then you have the punter and kicker, very inconsistent. I don't think it's going to be great for the Bears. Probably out of my videos, this may be the least the most criticism I'm given. I could have gave the Jaguars and Panthers more criticism, but the thing is, I just wanted to make it a little fun, and now I'm going to make it a little fun. But I think I'm going to put more criticism in the videos like I did in this one. So special teams needs a little help. Defense, I think, is pretty decent. I think that's good. I think that's all good for the Super Bowl contending defense. Offense needs a little more experience, a little more help, but I think it's definitely great with Matt Nagy as head coach. So But yeah, guys, that's why I think they could definitely win the Super Bowl. So I really appreciate you guys being here. Please subscribe, turn on post notifications. Cash App and Discord links will be in the description. It says check links in the description if you want to donate. You don't have to, but I appreciate it, as I'm going to premiere this video in a few minutes here. And then please like the video. Please comment. I really appreciate it. As Sports Expert says, I am the expert, and I'm out, guys. Peace.